Should you forgive the person who cheated on you, person who dragged you through the brutal tsunami of infidelity, one who broke your heart, who broke your trust because they were more committed to somebody else's body than to yours, more committed to yours, to their safety perhaps than to your safety? What do you do when it comes to forgiveness? Because it comes up so often. Sometimes it's the first thing that comes up with the person who's been hurt. Should I forgive my partner who has committed infidelity against me? And I want to make a really, really keen observation here that in all of my years of working with couples, I've never seen forgiveness actually fix the habit of infidelity. I'm Rod Harrison. I'm a relationships expert, executive marriage coach. I help people who are high performers in the fields of professional sports and business and entertainment. I help them reduce stress in their relationships. I help them improve their own productivity in life and then to increase the intimacy in the relationships that matter most to them. And so, this is a topic that comes up a lot in my coaching work. And I've been doing this for really a really long time, over 30 years, 30 plus years of working with couples. And the subject of forgiveness is a very necessary topic. And I want to share a few things with you that I think can be helpful to you. Maybe you're contemplating this question: should I forgive? And what's the point of forgiveness? What does forgiveness actually provide? And that's a great question. What does it provide? Well, forgiveness provides for the person who's been hurt by the infidelity a sense of release. And what forgiveness is I release or I lift away from you the guilt of what you've done. And forgiveness suggests that I forgive you for the consequences, or you're released from the consequences. Well, in fact, only God can release the person from the consequences in the ultimate sense. But in the practical sense, the consequences that come with that are significant. So maybe your forgiveness can relieve the person of the consequences when it comes to how you interact with them. But the consequences that have come to your life are a very different question. In other words, you are suffering consequences if you are the one who has been cheated on, if you're the faithful person who's been cheated on by the unfaithful person. Now you're bearing consequences. And when you forgive that person, it doesn't fix the consequences to you. I hope that's making sense to you. Let's try this one more time. So, should you forgive? I'm going to absolutely say yes. I think it's good and right. I don't think you should forgive so quickly that you forget this truth. This truth that there are two sides to the coin when it comes to repairing what has happened to the person who's been cheated on. So there is, yes, the forgiveness part, but there is also the healing part. Because when you go through the storm of infidelity, when somebody cheats on you, it crushes you, it pounds you into the ground, it takes the breath out of you, it makes you lose your sense of who you were, and it can take away your esteem. I talk about this all the time because I've never seen a person who's suffered from infidelity, being cheated on, who has not gone through the emotional tsunami that makes you question yourself, question your worth, triggers all the time. Depending on how you discovered the infidelity, whether you saw it on Instagram videos, yeah, that's a real thing for those of y'all who didn't know, or whether you saw it on your partner's phone somehow, however you saw it, however you discovered it, whether you just got the word, they finally admitted that it was going on. it is absolutely devastating. And there is a consequence to the person who was expecting their partner, spouse, boo, to be faithful, and forgiving the one who did it doesn't fix the problems, the tragic impact, the traumatic impact on the other person. So, what do we do? Because forgiveness is important. And I'm glad that God forgave me for so many things that I've done wrong. So forgiveness is important. I'm not that guy who's going to say no, don't forgive them. I think you're actually in good um, you're in a good place when you can forgive the person. And sometimes that forgiveness takes like time. Like I forgive you today, but tomorrow I want to knock you out. I want to punch you right in your face. Every time I see you, you get on my nerves. And then you go, okay, let me try to forgive. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Anybody who's been through this, holla at your guy right now. You know what it is to have been hurt by this infidelity, to have been crushed, put to a place of shame, and just like, what is this? I thought we had something, right? So you go through all of that, and then the triggers that come along with it. Anytime you see certain things or hear certain things, or you think about a place where they might have been with their, their affair partner, right? When you smell certain cologne or perfume, I mean, anything can trigger you. You can see something in a movie. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You can see it in a movie and go, "Oh my gosh, I just can't even watch this because all of this playing around and infidelity, and he's cheating on her and she's cheating on him and they're cheating on each other." You're like, "I don't want to watch this movie because the triggers are extraordinary." And so you've forgiven the person who cheated on you, perhaps, and now you're carrying this bag of residual effects, traumatic impact. And so, what has to be done? Because remember, I said there are two sides to the coin. Yes, there is forgiveness, but there's got to be healing. Yet their conscience is clear now. Hey, I forgave you. They're like, cool. My partner's got not gonna hold it against me. They said, I forgive you. I'm good. And then they want to know why do you keep bringing it up? Why do you always want to talk about it? Why are you always asking questions? Why you always want to know where and did this happen and did that happen? And y'all know what I'm talking about. And sometimes you can't help but bring it up. You can't help but ask the question because it's actually necessary. In another video, I'm going to talk about the whole process of disclosure, D-Day. And then there is another part of that process that I call G-Day, which is grief day, so that you begin to actually grieve what you lost. So you've been triggered. It keeps coming up. You said you forgave me. I thought we're not going to talk about this no more. When are we going to be able to move forward? Have y'all heard that? When are we going to be able to move forward? Yeah, that's a very common question. I thought you forgave me. I thought we were moving forward. I thought we could move on. And you just keep talking about it. What can't we just be positive people and move things forward? How long are you going to bring this up? Here's what I've discovered in the process of working with couples in this very, very complex dynamic. The person who commits the infidelity, the adultery, the betrayal, the stepping out, it's all the phrases, it's all the same thing. They usually have no understanding of the pain that it caused the person who was hurt by it, the person who trusted them, the person who believed that you would they would have you would have their back. I hope I said that the right way. So, two sides of a coin. The Bible has a very unique principle when it comes to this because the God of the Bible is a forgiving God. And he will take away the sins of the world, right? He took away mine. that's a whole story to tell, right? So he's a forgiving God and he takes the sins away. But what about the impact to the person who was sinned against? And that's what we got to talk about. Because you're now left holding, as I said, this bag of residual trauma that keeps popping up in your life. Here is the idea. There the person who has been forgiven must also take responsibility for the healing. The word is restitution. In the Bible, there's a concept, right? If you hurt your neighbor's oxen, if you crash their car or whatever, if you do any of those things, well, you gotta return what you stole, what was killed, what was damaged. You gotta turn that whole plus 20%. That means, in other words, the idea, the principle, the concept is you got to go above and beyond the call of duty to make the thing right. I feel something happening in the room right now. Y'all feeling this? Y'all, is this making sense to you? Somebody is having a eureka moment right now. Because you're like, yeah, I forgave, but things never got right. I forgave, but it's just not the same. I don't feel the same. I don't really have the desire. I got some urges, but I ain't really got no desire. Talk back to me. I want to be with him or her, but I just don't really, I don't know how to move forward. I don't really trust. I feel like I'm tripping, always looking for the shoe to drop, for there to be another incident, but I forgave. And now I feel guilty because I forgave, but I can't stop thinking about what has happened. That's because the person who hurt you has probably not owned the process to heal you or to help heal you. And there is a powerful process that I take couples through to help them be engaged in the healing process, the restoration process. Because it's not like just because you forgave somebody that all of a sudden you're healed. Because it don't work like that. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't happen that way. There is a process. You have to go through a process to heal trauma, to be restored, to be renewed, for trust to be rebuilt. Listen, trust is lost in buckets, but it's only regained in drips. It takes a while. And so the question is the person who hurt me by their infidelity, their cheating, do they have the courage and the commitment to help make you whole? That's worth contemplating, isn't it? Hey, before we wrap up today, I want to I want to invite you. Make sure that you look down in the description and you click on the guide that I've created for you. The first 5 things to do once you've discovered the infidelity. Maybe you were the person and you didn't know what to do. You don't know what to do. It's recent, perhaps, or you know somebody who is going through this emotional tsunami, is what I call it, and they don't know what they should do first. In the guide, I outline 5 things that I really believe you should do first. Don't flip out. Don't go bananas on the person. Don't go knocking on the affair partner's door. Don't be ringing the affair partner's number. Don't be hitting them up in Instagram and trash talking them. Clearly, I got some experience with this. And so I created a guide for you, and I want you to make sure you grab that, download it. It's just for you. It's my gift to you. I want to help as many people as I can to really get well and recover from this painful, painful experience. I'd like to see a lot of couples figure out their relationship and be able to have a productive life together. That would be awesome. So make sure that you get that. So here's what I want to say as we wrap up today's video. You can recover. You can get better. You can recover from all the triggers. You can regain your confidence. You can regain trust in people and perhaps in this relationship. It's possible. It's quite possible. You don't have to throw in the towel, but you can't build it back right if you don't go through the healing process. And I want you to stay tuned because we're going to be releasing a book that's going to help you. It's going to help you heal, and I'll be doing some courses and probably some some live training, some live workshops to help people heal and recover. So stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Give me your feedback. I'd like to know if this is helpful to you. If there's something else you want me to talk about, drop it in the comments. I want to be a help to as many people as absolutely possible. Hey, I want you to know I believe in you, and I am praying the best that God has for you. So hang in there. Be encouraged. Somebody cares about you. Somebody loves you. And I want you to know you are not by yourself in this painful, painful journey. All right. We will see you the next time. So make sure that you stay connected. Make sure that you get that guide, the first 5 things to do once you've discovered the infidelity. It's going to be a great help to you. Again, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you leave some comments. I'd like to know how else we can help you on this channel. Help us get to beyond 1,000 people. That's where we're headed to. We're just getting this channel going, and I'm just excited to help relationships. So I'm your guy. All right, Rod Hairston. I look forward to seeing you